All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here. We're live. We're taking your questions. So if you got questions, get them in the chat box on the side or the bottom or wherever it shows up on your device. I'm going to try to answer them. Super Chat's get a spin of the wheel. We're going for it. You know, this is how we do things around here. So make sure you answer the poll in the chat box as well. We already have a Super Chat sitting in here from Kayamanalu Allen. Best for slalom, Aviator 2.0, K2 Passport, Nidecker Tracer, or Jones Flagship. Out of those four, the one I would go to would be the Jones Flagship, personally. Oh my God. Did everyone catch today's top 5 as well? I gave you a nice little thing about entitled skiers, because clearly I've been dealing with so many of these old fuck sticks lately. I'm just like, oh my God. Also, what is it on the deadest of days, right? The absolute deadest of days where anyone can get on a chair by themselves. There always has to be that one fucktard that wants to get on and almost hits you right as the chair is about to load you. Like he's like, oh, I can't get on it. You can't get on alone. Happened to me today. Like big old fucking behemoth of a man with like a board that was like this wide. It was probably a Donic. I don't know. Fucking, he had 2 GoPros on his helmet, 2. So he had like the 360 big envelope one up here, and then he had another one looking straight down. And he was listening to music on his phone. I'm like, why the fuck are you on the chairlift with me? Why? Ugh. It's just like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, would it have killed you to wait an extra 5 feet? Like, why do people got to do this? I don't understand that. Ugh. So, anyways, okay, let's see what we got here. We got one from MJV14. Any initial impressions of the new 3rd gen Union Force? So I believe you're talking about this right here. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like this actually rode better than the Force OG or Classic or whatever they're calling it. Like had better dampening in the foot pad. Straps were solid. Toe strap's a little weird. It's very thin and it's tiny. As you use it more in the first day, it starts to stretch a little, and then you get used to how it's actually supposed to fit. But by and large, great dampening in this binding. High back was responsive, but it's not like super soft or super stiff. Like it's just a good binding. It's just felt like a binding I had ridden many, many times before. Actually really enjoyed this. The ratchets, they work. Everything was super, super good with this. So the new Union Force is pretty dang solid. If you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, which you can join that from the description of this video, you're getting all the reviews early. So they started on Monday this week. So we gave you a bunch of reviews, and I've got stuff scheduled till the end of this month. And then I got to start scheduling stuff for next month. But next month, the binding reviews will start to drop. So we got that going for you. We do have a super chat from our boy, or Ian, and he just says, yo. Oh, that's right. Choose to be offended like some of these people that can't deal with my meme game because it's on point. Whew. If you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing all the snowboard memes. Let's see what else we got. All right, let's see. Where are we? Oh, this is a good one from Car Wreck. What are some of the binding brands to look out for that have good dampening that help with bad knees joints from the chatter? Roman Battalion, the foot pad actually in there is, especially on the Astro, is more damp than what you would get with the Rome ones. Those are solid. Nitro, those are super solid. That air dampening system, plus they have a new one called Air Dampening Plus, I think is what they're calling it. So that does a good job of dampening it. This actually did a really good job too. The new Union Force for next year. Most unions actually don't think do a good job of dampening, but this force actually did. The Nideckers, like the Kaon CX, not the CX, that's too stiff, but the Kaon X, maybe the Kaon Plus. Those are pretty solid as well for dampening. The higher end bent metals with the thicker drive plate are good. The new K2 stuff for next year is really good. So that's like your addition and your bond. That's super, super solid. I haven't ridden the new Now stuff, so I can't really comment on that. I got that sitting in the other room. So there's a few options for you right there. Okay, what else we got here? Scott Jones, degreased a few branches this season, and my new MIPS helmet has a couple little dents. No hard hits, still good to replace. I mean, if you're talking about surface level dents, I think I've got 2 in my helmet. It's fine. Like, that shit happens. You don't have to worry about it. If you think that it doesn't need to be replaced, go with it. If you think it needs to be replaced, replace it. Okay, this is a good one from Callum Copley. Are Burton boots made a size smaller than they used to? I bought a new Ion size 9 UK. My older Ion is a size 9. Fitted perfectly, but I can't get my foot into the new ones. Either that or my feet have grown. So as we naturally age, our arches start to collapse. And as they do that, so if you collapse it, your foot gets longer, but it also starts to splay out a little bit more. That's what's going on. It's a lack of improper arch support in there. So your feet are actually getting wider and a little bit longer in there, on top of the fact that they probably changed the mold on it too. So you got a few things going against you in there as well. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got this one here from Yama. Would the Union Strata be good on a Rome Warden? Want something that I can do it all. I have Rome Arsenals now, but the toe strap isn't long enough and caves in the side of my boot. I mean, Strata on a Warden, not a bad option. So, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Can get away with that on there. It's actually a really good matchup, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, Ollie Brown. Hi, Angry. Did you see the video Wendover Productions did a couple of days ago, basically crapping on Vale for destroying ski towns? I watched the first part of it, and when they showed my neighborhood in Breckenridge and specifically picked my building, my neighbor's buildings, and said, no one lives here long term, and I was like, the fuck we don't? Like, my neighbors have been here before I moved in. I've been here like almost 7 years. My other neighbors, Gary and Phyllis, they moved in the same time I did. Gary just started renting it short term because he's down in Sedona. The other side, my old neighbors lived there for 12 years before they moved out. And the new couple that lives there has been there a year. And then the guy that bought the house next to us, he's been there for 2 years. Like, I was watching that whole neighborhood. I'm not denying like most of it, but this whole thing just pissed me off because I'm watching it going, how the fuck can you say literally that there's no community and no neighborhood in my neighborhood? We all literally live here year round. We all know each other. In fact, I've got like an Airbnb second home unit at the end of my alley that's it was occupied from 2019 to actually this to the fall of 2022. That guy lived there year round. Like, and at one point they even like circled the parsonage for the Catholic Church, and I was like, they fucking live, like, there's like 3 priests that live there. They might be diddling kids, but they live there. Like, I watched that. I'm not denying some of the stuff. Like, they've made it's gotten harder to live here, but there's also blowback. So what they didn't talk about, or at least I didn't get that far into it, there's going to be over, 280 new affordable units going in that are opening up this summer. And then there's going to be like another 400 coming in. Like, things change. There's always going to be an ebb and a flow. Top of the fact, the amount of foreclosures right now in Summit County is insane. Like, that's a whole thing in itself. Prices have started to drop. I was looking at this. So I'd previously been looking at this 2-bedroom a condo that was for sale, and it went up to like $789, and I was like, fuck. And then I think it sold for like $980. It is on the market right now for $560, less than 6 months since I looked at it, because they couldn't get their short-term rental permit. And there's a lot of places like that, and it's fucking hilarious. So anyways, okay, let's take this super chat from our boy Beziums. Is that the new Mega Merc? What did they change? So that is the new Mega Merc. I rode the first gen. I never rode this, or the first year. I never rode the second year. So I rode this yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago. But it's stiffer than I remember it. And I rode a 57 previously. It really differentiates itself from the regular Mercury now, which they really overhauled the new Mercury, and it's awesome again. So that it's a little more lightweight, a little more responsive. It's got the new or bio resin in there, so a little more reactive in it. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, the review, got to schedule that on Angry Snowboarder VIP. But let's give you a spin. No shit. This dude keeps always winning freaking jumbo sticker packs. Kevin, you know the drill. Email me. I do owe you one, and I'll get that in the mail. I haven't gotten a bunch of sticker stuff out. I've been super busy because we're just trying to wind down the season right now. Okay. All right. Well, super chat from Luke Postel. Just a shout out for always pronouncing my last name right. Well, when you know how to read, it kind of helps. If you don't know how to read, and phonetics and stuff works. But as someone who constantly has his name butchered over and over and over again, I know what it's like to be frustrated. So, oof, loser. Okay, Shane C. Afternoon Angry. I know you ride the Dragon goggles. What ones do you run? NFXs, NFX2. Was it PCVs? I got like 5 different pairs on there. I've had NFX2s and had some fogging issues with them depending on my lens. Was looking at PX V2, which I have those, but I don't know if they have a similar issue. So if you're starting to have fogging issues, one of the things, if it's got the flip tab on the side of the goggle, flip up one tab when you hit the chairlift and crack your goggle lens. It'll circulate air back through. It'll defog it on the chairlift ride. Clamp it back down before you get off and go ride, and you should be good to go. Okay. We got the super chat here from Ted G. Is the Burton Skeleton Key considered a volume shifted board? No. And thanks, Edgar, for all the recommendations. It's just glad I could help. No, I think that's just like a mid-wide more than anything. So it's like a 24.4 waist or something. Oh, yeah, smash pow. Smash pow, people. All right. Centauri 2410. I currently ride a K2 excavator and a ride shadow band. Can you recommend a third board with no overlap? Thanks. Rad Air Tanker 203. You got to get yourself a big boy board. Ain't going to be any overlap with those other two when you go that big. Realistically, if those are the only 2 boards you have, you're absolutely fine. I would say that maybe you do need a twin somewhere in there, something that you can kind of play around with. Whether how soft you want to go, if you want to go like Jibby, Parky, play around slushy twin, or like middle of the road twin, but that would be the only thing that I would recommend. Okay. Pixel Pusher, have you seen the new K2 Alchemist? I got this year's and love it, but wish they would make a 156 wide. Have the 54 now. What bindings would you choose for the board? I looked at it. I think I licked it. Tasted kind of salty. What bindings would I? Okay, so I'm kind of in next year's mode with stuff, but realistically, like that's a stiffer board. You want something with a little more power. So your Rome cleavers, your now drives, Union Atlas Pro. Probably want to go with the Atlas Pro on that. The ride, I'd probably put like an A9 on there. I honestly don't think current year K2 makes anything stiff enough for it. Next year they have stuff that'll be better. So that would be like your Bond. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. All right. We got WW2U. Tube. WW Tube. Hey, Angry, going to be in Colorado for a week, but I'm going to need a full tune and bass grind, PTEX, etc. Any recommendations for local shops for the job? Mono Sarah and Dylan. Let's see. Then I would do Lone Star and Breckenridge. You could try to see if Steve at Gravity at Copper, if he wants to do it. It's kind of if he's in the mood or not. Otherwise, you could go see Jamie at the Christie Sports across from the Walmart in Frisco. So there's a few options for you. Jacob Iverson, thoughts on a board for my lady? She's a solid intermediate, and I want her to have something better for POW that will also handle very well on a groomer, but isn't too aggressive of a ride. K2 cold shoulder. That's where I would go with that. Okay. All right. Let's take this super chat from the Syndicate. I got a first-year Burton free thinker given to me. The edge was coming off just down from the nose on the left. I just epoxied it. Hope it holds up. Good luck. Don't dink anything with it. That's right. Eat your muscle cheese, people. All right. Minnesota George, I picked up a battalion fun kink for my son late in the season. He's an intermediate, but advancing quickly. Do you think this is a good board for progression? Hell yeah, I do. That's a perfect directional twin for that. The only thing you got to worry about, because obviously your name's Minnesota George, super icy conditions, you're going to lose a little bit of edge bite. It brings it back in more underfoot. Just be aware of that. You're not going to have that contact bite. But otherwise, for a progressing intermediate, that board is solid. I love the way that board rides. All right, we got our boy Brady Lampert, only man I've ever hand-delivered a sticker envelope to, because evidently he doesn't know his mailing address. All right, saw Buckhouse riding the other day. His filmer had to constantly grab his butt plug after it falls out. Thought it was a family-friendly resort. Hey, man, just butt plugging and butt chugging. I mean, I think that's what happens when you endorse Fireball. Your butthole gets loose, and then you can't butt chug your Fireball as much. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember to shop local. There's a lot of shops selling stuff discounted. So, Underground and Breck, Gravity at Copper. I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Charlie at Holy Stokes over in Pennsylvania. He's a good dude. Don't forget Dark Side and Splinters up in Vermont. In-Flight Surf Shop down in Seal Beach. I know that they're sitting on some Karuas and some Amplids, and they got some other stuff over there. Wave Rave, LA, and Mammoth. Check them out. So, yeah, just trying to give a shout out to some of the local shops. Definitely check on them. All right. Okay, what do we got here? We got the thing that should not be. Rad Dad looking for a resort board, cruising with the kids and ripping carves and side hits when the kids are not around. Looking at a Ride Shadow Band 160 wide, Yes Typo 159 wide, and Capta Indoor Survival 158 wide. Out of those three, I would nix the Indoor Survival. Great board, but don't think that's what you're really looking for. Shadow Band is great. It feels just like an old school cambered snowboard. I don't think you have to worry about that. So that if you're looking for a little added edge grip underfoot, I think that's where the Typo comes in. So you could definitely go with that. Those two, super, super solid. So, yeah. Scott Jones, in my early 40s and still trying to progress my freestyle ride. My question is, what's the point? Because it's fun? Fuck, I'm 40 years old and I still hit park. I probably ride more park now than I did 5 years ago. But, go do what you got to do, man. That's what I say. If you're feeling good, you want to go in there, go have fun. Like, don't kill yourself, but go have fun, man. It's fun. Besides, maybe you'll develop a case of adult onset athleticism. Okay. All right, we got one here from Muffins. Angry, I'll be moving to Colorado in October and I work remote. Not trying to spend over $1,800 for a place because that's just dumb, but really want good access to Breck Winter Parks and such. Where the fuck should we move? Not Denver. Honestly, if you want good access to Breck and Winter Park, like maybe the Bailey conifer area, Evergreen. Like Evergreen will put you on 70, and you can just take that up, shoot over the Berthoud Pass, get to Winter Park, shoot into Summit County. Then you got access, or you can even go over Loveland Pass. Honestly, if you lived in Evergreen, I'd say get a Loveland Pass because then you get Mountain Collective, and that would be one thing to do. But like 1,800, we all want to pay 1,800 for a place. Fuck. I remember when I used to be able to pay 1,800. I remember when I moved in here, I was paying 1,600. I'm paying 22 now. It's ridiculous. Wish I was still paying 1,600. Fuck. Be so much nicer. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to hunt around and see what you can find. Chris Olds, I just bought last year's Mercury. Did I mess up by not waiting for this year's Merc? Well, no. No, you mean next year's? Like, this year's and last year's are the exact same thing. Just different graphics. All right. Okay, we're going to take this one from Alpine Abex. What's your go-to jacket nowadays? I've actually broken it up. So I have two L1 puffies plus a vintage L1 puffy, then which is an old Mendenhall puffy. Bought that for like $50 on eBay. I've got like a third-year L1 Lucas Huffman jacket from, I think it's from the Black Star collection. It's super technical, so I bought that. I bought an 7-year-old Sham L1 jacket, and then I got a last year's model jacket, the one that's mustard yellow. It was in my video, like what you can expect out of your gear. And then I've got a 686 Snap like hoodie jacket that makes me feel like I'm Marty McFly. So I've been buying a lot of vintage L1 off eBay. I'm still looking for a Mean Machine one piece. If anyone's got a large or extra large sitting around, probably an XL. Just saying, Mean Machine one piece. I'm just looking for a fart bag. Anyone knows where I can find the damn thing, I will take it. Okay. Let's see. Got a super chat here from BZM's. Rome replaced the high back immediately on the Katana's easiest warranty I've ever done. Managed to ride the whole day like that without any issues. So for anyone that doesn't understand what that's about, he actually sent me a message on Instagram, and he like ripped his high back in half. And he's like, "You think they'll warranty it?" And I was like, "I've never seen one like that, but I'm assuming they would." So goes to show though, if you're really polite with warranty, you won't have an issue with it. Like you got to understand, shit breaks too. Like I had some dude that was just spamming every fucking Amplid review, and he's like, "They don't honor their warranty. My board delammed, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, you probably fucking ran into shit, dude. You probably fucking impacted something. Boards don't just delam for the sake of delamming usually. Like, unless it was like the old Capita Stairmaster Extreme. But that was because the factory forgot to put the epoxy on the top sheet when they pressed it. But still, so this dude was like nonstop. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. And he's like, all they did was offer me a half off. And I was like, they offered you a half off because you probably fucked up. And they're like, well, we'll give them something because something's better than nothing. Like, you guys are going to warranty stuff. Shit's going to break. I break shit. You break shit. Like, my boots are going to be destroyed again. The coiler housing, the cable is eating through the actual lower housing that's on the boot itself. And it's going to obliterate the whole thing by the end of the season. I know it. They're out of warranty. I'm not even going to bother, but I probably could actually get a free pair of boots out of it and be like, but whatever. It's the price of riding. But, you know, when you warranty something, be polite, stay on top of stuff. You know, it'll get you to where you need to be. Understand they're working too. Understand sometimes you fuck up and break shit. Like some dude was trying to tell me in the memes the other day that he's like, I used to break boards, but now that I'm on a Never Summer, they don't break. They're just so durable. And I was like, no. And he explained how he was breaking boards. He's counter twisting. He's putting downward pressure when he lands a jump. So you're counter twisted. That force has to go somewhere. Top sheet cracks. Does stuff like that. When you put a rental board top sheet that's like this fucking thick on a board, of course it's not going to break. But it also decambers a lot quicker. And I was like sitting there. But I was like, understanding you got to take some onus when you break things. So it sucks when shit breaks, but, you know, don't freak out. Whew, okay, we got one here from the Syndicate. What's your thoughts on the low back trend that seems to be coming back? Oh, kind of enjoy it. I do miss low backs. I also miss low cuff boots. There's part of me that's like, if my knees and ankles were a little bit better, I'd get a low cuff boot just so I could tweak grabs and shifties and shit even more. So, yeah, that's kind of stoked. I think the kids need that in their life. Also, I think I owe Kevin a spin, so we'll give him one. Loser. DZ, can you recommend a board to a weekend where it needs to work in morning groomers and also do well as the days go on? Has to work in pound, mostly ride groomers in pound, occasionally jumps in no park. Jones Flagship, K2 Passport, Ride Algorithm. If you want a little softer, go down to the Shadow Band. K2 Mercury, even a black Snowboard to Death if you really wanted to. Amplid Singular, directional or twin. It's kind of your choice on that if you want to go that route. Let's see what else. Libtech Terrain Wrecker, if that's the camber profile you want, although I think an EJAC knife is a little bit better and more versatile to an extent. Let's see. GNU Hyper be another one. So there's a bunch of options for you. All right. We got one here from Ben Donaldson. I wear a size 13 Burton Iron boot. I have a 2018 170 ultra wide skunk ape. I'm a 5'10", 210 pounds. I got a third kneecap. That's weird. Wondering if a 157 Stomp ape would be a better fit. 170 is a whole lot of board, obviously. What do you think? I mean, you're going to go down like 13 centimeters going to the Stomp ape. And I think that that would make sense, especially at only 210 pounds with a size 13. But here's the other thing. If you're looking for something that's wide, that's going to accommodate you, check out that Nitro Dinghy too. You can get it in a 55 or a 60, or check out the Amplid Big Kahuna. These, you got options out there. So don't just feel that you're limited. I actually rode the Dinghy today and was like, damn, this thing is actually super fun. So yeah, okay. Cameron Cleggett, planning a trip to Niseko next year. Any advice or tips for traveling there and maneuvering around, or any advice at all? Don't be a tourist. You make yourself a target when you be a tourist, own your shit. You got plenty of time to do some research, hop on, figure out what's going on, figure out what the local customs are, figure out where the best restaurants are, or even look at restaurants' menus and figure out where you are. You got time to schedule any reservations you need for any restaurants you want to go to. Just take it all in, be aware of their culture and respect it and do stuff. So it's the best advice I can give you. Evian Mist, my Alchemist 159 wide crapped out recently in the market for a board. I love charging on the Alchemist, but sometimes was overwhelmed by its stiffness when I wasn't 100% in the mood. Should I go Megadeth? Megadeth's more approachable than the Alchemist, in my opinion. Like, it's actually not as stiff as the Black Snowboard to Death, in my opinion. Like, it's just more lively. If anything, the flex may be the same, but it's just more lively and it flexes a little different. So, yeah, Megadeth would be one. I would say maybe you want to go to like an Amplid Soli Grail, too. That would be another one to consider. Maybe a Karua, like a pencil. You can still charge when you need to on that. So, there's a few options with you. Okay, let's see. Car wreck. I'm 40 and my goal for next season is to hit park and not die. Well, you don't want to hit the park. You want to ride the park, because if you hit the park, that's an impact. And impacts hurt. And when you get hurt, that sucks. But just ease into it. Just ease into it, So, just so you guys know, I'm trying this new thing where live streams will run ads. So some of you guys might get ads right now in the next 40 seconds. It's just something I wanted to test out. I just wanted to see what the monetary difference was. I don't think it's something I'm going to do regularly, but just for anyone that's watching, if you get a mid-roll ad right now, don't freak out. Let it go for 5 seconds, skip it, come back in. I just want to see what this does. I'm just testing stuff in the off season. I don't think we're actually going to do it, but yeah, to go back to hitting park, like at 40, I still ride park. I still hit rails. I still do stuff, just hit some jumps. Like, just ease into it. Start small. Scare yourself once a day. Got to scare yourself once a day. That's always a good thing too. So, Yeah, okay. Let's see what we got here. We got our boy. Where'd that go? I just saw it. D-Rick. Yo, Averin, just got a 2021 Guess Optimistic 161 on sale as a replacement for my broken Rome Sawtooth 164 as a groomer charger. Not one of those you recommended as a replacement for that board, but well, it's a solid board choice. I mean, coming off of a Rome Sawtooth, you're going to be able to turn a lot better with it, so that's a good one. Okay. Ronan, was it copper yesterday? It was crunchy. Oh, it was Crustosaurus McGee underneath today. Oh, decided I wanted to go out Union Meadows because I was testing that dinghy. Oh, that was a big mistake. Oh, whoo, testing stability and death chunder. I'm a fucking idiot. Ugh. All right. All right. We got Jeff Wine. Hey, Avery, looking for a POW party board swallowtail between Capita Slush Slasher 43 and K2 Special Effects 44. My daily driver is a Kazu 151. I'm 5'5", 165, size 8. Thanks, man. Go with the special effects because you want it for POW first and the party board second. You'll get better POW float in that, in my opinion, and you get like a slightly more functional swallowtail. So, yeah, go with that. Also, if anyone's got any riding questions, Tommy Bennett's in the chat. I'm sure that he would love to answer those. Or if you need bird recipes, Tommy's just got some really great whole live bird recipes. Although he's been gone the last week, and they've started to return to the parking lot at the Flyer. So I'm really happy to see that. Trigon, need a new jib stick that can handle medium jumps at least too. Is the Battalion Disaster too soft? Wouldn't be my first choice. I think the 3D when you're hitting the jump would give you some issues with it. Instead, I would go to the Disaster Plus, get a little bit more stiffness in there. Or, you want a jib stick that can still handle jumps. Maybe like a Capita Scott Stevens, although those are probably sold out because it was the last year for him. I guess Jackpot would be another one that I would think would be solid for you. Maybe a Libtech box knife. So, yeah. Also, for anyone that's just tuning in, feel free to answer the poll in the chat box wherever it appears on your screen. If you super chat, you get a spin of the wheel. You can win a prize. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Dan Rao, is it usually this windy in the Summit pussy? Fuck, man, it's this windy in Summit year round. This isn't anything different. There's just storms moving through this. Fuck, this isn't even windy. Okay. Let's see. Jesse David, girlfriend on a thin line of beginner and intermediate. Any suggestions for her first board? Like, check out like the K2. Was it the Limelight First Light, something like that? That would be one. That'll put her up there. Let's see. Oh God, what's the Ride Saturday? Is it the Gloss from GNU? That might be one. Birds of a Feather or the Paradise from Capita. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything there that I got. All right. From Do You Need a Brain Doctor? Have you tried the 2024 Capita Megadeth? I have. I like it. Very reactive, carves well, super lightweight, great finish on that board. Rails a turn like no other. So for anyone that's a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, I actually started dropping the written reviews early on Monday of this week. That was the first review I dropped. So that's over on Angry Snowboarder VIP. Thomas Acosta, what changed from the 2023 Capita Mercury to the 2024? Camera profile, flex pattern, something else in the construction. I think the bass tune changed as well. And maybe the side cut. Don't quote me on that. Okay, we got one here from DZ. How does the K2 Passport compare to the Lib Dynamo? Need good daily driver with good edge hold on varied conditions, or should I go with the K2 Excavator? Excavator only if you're going to ride more POW. If you're looking for a more well-balanced board. So first off, Dynamo is more damp than the Passport, so it's just going to absorb micro chatter better. It's got a different camber profile to it, so it flexes a little different between the feet and outside the feet. Whereas with the Passport, it feels more like good old school traditional camber with a little nose rocker in there, so you get a little ease of entry in the turns. The K2 has okay dampening, but when you compare it, it's not as damp. It's a little more lively and reactive. Personally, out of those two, if those were the two that you had to choose, I would go with the Passport. Keep your edges sharp. It's going to hold. But if you're one of those guys that's like, I need to visually see the technology that actually works, it's got the magnet traction on the dynamo, so that should do it for you. All right. Okay. We got super chat from our boy, the dude. Battalion 1 finally died. For more power-oriented riding, will the Cruiser be a solid choice over the Thunder? Differences between the two? I'd go with the Thunder, honestly. I think it's more versatile. Cruiser, better at carving. If you get this year's Cruiser, just trust me, it's a better board. Next year's is ass. Just fucking straight ass. I wrote the Plus version. The new guy that's helping me with reviews, TC, rode the Cruiser. Both of us were like, the fuck did they do to this thing? Cruiser can handle POW. Personally, I think the Thunder is better. It's just got better snap. It's going to ride better in POW. It floats a little bit better. The 3BT is a little different between the two of them. So that would be it. And coming from a 1, I think the Thunder makes more sense than a Cruiser. Unless you're just looking for something you can go carve with on a softer day or just a groomer day. So, and remember to eat your muscle cheese. All right, we got our boy David off Black Dynamite. Checked out Unstrapped, great video part clip show. Yeah, Unstrapped Snowboard show. Look it up on YouTube. I don't have a link down in the description this week, but Andrew Brewer, Jim Dunnigan doing just commentary on Instagram videos, YouTube videos, stuff for snowboarding. Great show. Brewer's a pro snowboarder, still kind of. Had some great parts with Tech 9 back in the day. Just a good all-around dude. Just a good all-around dude. Ooh, where do we go with this? Pick a random question and give it a spin. Okay. I'm going to take this one. Okay, from Michelle Herr. Angry, thank you for helping me narrow it down. So I found a demo K2 party platter and a slightly used dance hall. Which one? Go with the dance hall. You will thank me so much better on that, so much more for that, especially because of where you ride. Just for anyone that knows, Michelle's got really large feet for a woman. Men's 11. So I think get the dance hall in the 47. That'll fit the size 11. You'll be able to rip on that thing, or even if it's the 52. But you'll be able to rip on it. You'll be totally fine. So there you go. And you got a free spin today. Eat that muscle cheese. All right. We got a super chat from our boy, Joseph Ramos. Roll back for 3 days at Bachelor and Timberline. Epic April POW for the win. Oh, God, I love Epic POW. Do you want to come in? Come here. My dog's at the door. Do you guys want to see my dog? Marinus, come here. Come here, sweetie. Hey. Come here. Let's go. Hey. No? Who's in here? Who's in here? No. All right. Well, I don't know. I think there was a bird outside the window or something. She was scared. She looked concerned for me, so she was checking it out. But yeah, April POW for the win. Always the best stuff. It's really weird. She came to the door and she didn't want to come in. Normally she wants to come in and see everyone. But yeah, hopefully we're going to get some POW tonight. It's storming right now, so I'm hoping we can go out. I got some boards I need to ride. Subscribe or else. All right, we're going to take this one from Dirty Nuggets. In your experience, do some resorts build jumps in a weird way that's better for skiers, or is it or if I find a weird curled lip on the jump difficult to control, does that mean I just suck? So every resort kind of does it. So you get the takeoff like this, and you get the ones where they put like a little deck and then they drop it. You get the ones where it's like this, and then it rolls down the backside. What that's designed for is so for someone that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, they can speed check and roll over the backside. It's not like cut straight. Some build it like that. Each one's kind of different. Do they build stuff for skiers? Fuck yeah, they do. Oh my God. Fucking that's another thing that we should be bitching about. So if you didn't catch today's top five reasons skiers are the most entitled people on the resort. Fucking skiers. The terrain park was invented for snowboarders. It was a reservation area to shove all of us back in the day so that all these fuck sticks on their swizzle skis could be over there and happy about shit and we'd all be in one area. But then, they had to steal the twin tip idea and side cuts from us. And suddenly they want to go in the terrain park and now we have to share it with them. And then what do? They appropriate everything. And then you get these fucking rails that you can't hit on a snowboard because they're designed for the stupid ass skiers and shit and the jumps and shit. Oh my God, I fucking hate skiing. I fucking hate it. Tommy Bennett asks, should I retire from snowboarding and YouTube? I don't think you should retire from YouTube. I think you should transition into bird recipes. Whole bird recipes. You could maybe have your mom Carol on there with you, and it could be the Carol and Tommy show. Ugh. All right, let's see. Take this one from Alex K. When moving your bindings from board to board, are you using blue Loctite or just torquing down? Fuck, I don't even think my screws have Loctite on them anymore. No, I just tighten it down and go and ride. I mean, it's 4 fucking screws. It's fine. I'm still running original hardware on my first year black labels. That's still, I haven't swapped those out yet. Okay, Brandon Sawada. What could I add to the quiver? GNU Gremlin 48, Nidecker Gamma 57, Yes Typo 52, Rome Reverb Rocker 48. Could be older and or future models. 180, 5'4", size 7. I have a double jointed thumb. Ooh, bet the ladies love that. Well, out of what you got there, you need a big board. You need something obscene. Not necessarily wide, just obscenely long. If you can find a Jones Snowwolf, not Stormwolf, Lone Wolf. Jones Lone Wolf, a Nidecker gun, nitro quiver cannon, something big. I think a big board would fit in there. I think that's what you absolutely need. Okay. Marco Sillard, 23 to 24 navigator change, camber profile. They changed the camber profile in it. So with the new camber profile, you get a flex point that sinks the tail a lot easier. It doesn't carve as well. It does not hold a carve like the 23. The 24 just sort of swoops. It doesn't let you rail a turn when you absolutely need to. Jeremy Maple, what's your take on detuning for park? I don't know. Do whatever you want. It's personal preference. Some people do it. Some people don't. You're talking to a guy that literally grabs a new board every day and rips it out of the wrapper and throws bindings on it and goes and rides. I don't detune before I hit the park. I'll ride that shit razor sharp. I was talking to my friends that work for Capita, and they were like, we can't believe you just rip our boards out of the wrapper, put bindings on it, and just go ride. And I was like, why? It's not that bad. They're just sharp. They're like, we've seen you hit rails. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. So, yeah. Ali Zakaron, how do I teach my dog to go snowboarding? Ooh, I don't know. My dog doesn't go snowboarding with me. She just sits in the house, does her thing. Peanut butter? I don't know. Okay. Let's see. We got Stu Hain. I have a battalion surfer, a Capita Black snowboard to death, and I want something twinish for park to crank some sweet Japan airs because my son doesn't think I can. 6'2", 210, and old, size 11. Look at, there should be a wide Capita Indoor Survival. I think it's like a 56 wide. That should give you the pop you want and tweak that you need. Yeah, there you go. That's what I would go with. Plus, it's just old school camber. The Emperors, what would be your favorite snowboard for ice conditions, ice coast? Whatever I'm riding that day, literally, whatever I'm riding will be my favorite snowboard. Keep your edges sharp, you'll be totally fine. Okay. Ogre Boy 666, would you rather be riding with Sean White or living with Buckhouse? I've ridden with Sean before. I mean, other than the fact his stance is just ungodly wide. He's really fun to spray. Spraying Sean White is super fun. So, yeah. Okay. Let's take the super chat from Anthony Hocking. Burton now sell a step-on binding with no high back, branded as the low back for the same price as the regular model. Innovation is alive and well. Burton, land of mediocrity. Oh my God. I can't wait till they sell that company. Maybe K2 will buy it. Frank Stringfellow, how's the pass nowadays? Used to ride there all the time in the 90s. Still there. People still ride it. DJ, Happy Bird 13. Have you demoed any of the Solomon HPS boards? Interested to hear a review on them. I see the Good Ride has a review on them, but who can trust them? Nobody. I mean, dumb people, I guess. TC has the HPS Taka right now. I rode the 6-stick, which I think it's in here. Yeah, so rode the new 6-stick. So this thing's super fun. I've got a fish in the other room. That's going to probably get ridden tomorrow if we get that snow. I've ridden the HPS Louif, the older one. There is a review of that. So that stuff is coming. Jay Moore, what do you think about buying boards you'll eventually be good enough to rip? IE got a great deal on a Mega Merc, but I know it'll buck me off if I'm slacking. I think it's dumb. I was like, you can use that money to buy more lift tickets to ride to get better. Like, this is like the last live stream on the 6th. Someone brought this up. They're like, I'm trying to buy a board that I can grow into in like 5 years. I was like, what the fuck? Like, no, dude, you've been snowboarding like 3 times in your fucking life, and you're trying to, but like, what? Why do you people do this? Like, oh my God, you know, like, I don't get it. It always reminds me of those idiots that have never like driven a high-powered car and they buy a Hellcat and they wreck it leaving the dealership. I'm just like, people, fucking Jesus Christ. All right, let's see. Angelo Lombardo, how much is parking at Copper on Wednesday? Depends which lot you go to. David Dixon, how much tech has the ski industry stolen from snowboards? Twin tips, side cuts. We took a bunch of their construction methods and then we perfected them even more. Probably everything. All right. We got a super chat. Oh, did I give Anthony a spin? I don't even know. Anyways, this could be for Dirty Nuggets. He gave a super chat too. We'll do this. Happy 420, everybody. Smoke them if you got them, or don't. I don't care. Ooh, pick a random question and give it a spin. Okay. Americani1234, can you recommend a soft twin board that can handle ice well? Was looking at the Fun Kink, but in your review you said ice equals kind of death. Yeah, well, the Fun Kink isn't a twin either. So you want a soft twin that can still handle it, get something with a good old-fashioned radial side cut in there. But if you want some, and to keep your edges sharp, I would look at like Rome Artifact, Ride Kink, Libtech Box Knife, because then you get magnet traction. Rosinal Jigsaw. Jigsaw is actually super soft, and you get serrated edges on that as well. So it's not a bad option. She actually got one sitting over there. Next year's one. Change the shape. Remember to say nope to dope. Yeah, or choose to be offended. Your choice. Says Klug is buying a 60% off pair of boots for 24-25 too early. My current favorite boots I'm rocking now, but won't need them next year likely. 445 new down to 27. Oh, fucking go buy them. Jesus Christ, dude. If I could find a bunch of size 10 Thraxis that were new, and they were marked down to like 280, I'd buy them all. I'd buy like 10 pairs and just sit on them. They're fine. Just keep them out of the sun or anywhere that a mouse or a squirrel or something can molest them. You'll be fine. I mean, save that money where you can, right? BZMs, do your personal boards still have stomp pads, or are you just so used to not using them you don't care? I'm from the generation that stomp pads were training wheels, so I don't do stomp pads. Then Crab Grab comes out and makes stomp pads all cool, and everyone's about it, and I still don't have them. I just press my foot into my back binding and go. So that's where we're at. Ouch. All right, we'll take this question from Dirty Nuggets. Story between the Battalion Party Wave Plus and the Camel 2 Gimbal God Edition. Want to support Spenny, but also very attracted to the wide Party Wave Plus. 5'11", 165 pounds, size 10.5 boot, ride everything, fast, hard, but park. Realistically, if you want more power and charging, you go with the Camel 2. In my opinion, it carves better. It's a little more aggressive on edge. If you're looking for something you can be a little more laid back with, play around, ride the slush, that's where the Party Wave Plus comes in. So it's kind of there. All right. Let's see. DZ, for the K2 passport, should I go with the Burton Cartel or Cartel X? I'd go with the regular Cartel. Silas Girl, I'm a low intermediate rider looking to get my second board, first being the Burton Hideaway. Is the Ride Heartbreaker a good option? You're going to have a little bit of a learning curve with it right out the gate. It's going to be stiffer than your Hideaway. Just be aware that it's got more carbon in it and whatnot. It's probably going to take you like 2 or 3 days to kind of get used to it. But once you do, it's a good logical progression. You did solid choosing that. Okay, Henry Oyang. Yang. Do you think the Amplid Pentacarc would be too demanding to ride all day? Is it manageable on uneven terrain, bumps, and narrow, crowded trails? I mean, do you know how to ride? If you know how to ride, you could ride it all day. I mean, personally, it wouldn't be my first choice. It's a little bit much for most people, but hey, this is what's up with it. It's kind of your choice on there. All right. Yama, thoughts on the brand fixed bindings? Wondering how they are compared to the bigger brand names. Saw them on the Unstrapped podcast. Yeah, Brewers sponsored by Fix. I haven't written any of the newer stuff. They changed the mold since the last time I wrote it, made it a little more narrow. They have some cool stuff going on there, and I do like Jason, the owner designer. I just haven't written stuff in years from him, so it wouldn't be my first binding choice. All right. Monkey Paws, love my passport. Thanks for the rec. Is there a more playful version of this board shape? I mean, it's just like, if you want something similar, a little more play to it, I guess you'd go with the K2 broadcast. That'd probably be the closest to it. Maybe. I mean, it's really just a directional twin type thing. You could probably do it like a Battalion Fun Kink if you really want to go soft. Okay. The Emperors, have you tried the LibTech rig yet? If so, your thoughts on No. We got so much shit this year. I think TC and I are like all said and done. We're probably going to have like 150 or 160 reviews done at the end of this season. We kind of decided with the way snow's going, and to be fair for stuff, we're just going to grab LibTech and GNU shit in the fall and review it when stuff opens around here. So, no, I haven't ridden the rig, but everyone I've talked to just says how much that thing fucking rips. I want to ride that thing so bad. So, okay. Anyways, if you're just getting in here, get your questions in that chat box. Make sure you check out that poll. I'm going to end that poll here in about, probably 6 minutes. And we'll see what the results are for that. Let's see. Also, if you haven't subscribed, you probably should. I don't know. Maybe not subscribe. I don't know. Do whatever you want. All right, we got Snipe 07. What board would you recommend for boot packing very tight trees and the occasional trip out west? I was looking at the K2 excavator or the Ride Warpig. Neither. I mean, if I had to choose out of those two, it'd be the excavator over the Warpig. But honestly, if you're really going to go into some super tight trees, I really wouldn't go with something that volume shifted that much. in there, I'd go with something that's like more a normal size and something with a ton of torsional flex to it. It's kind of where what I would do anyways. So yeah. All right, we got one here from Hawks fan. Would you rather spend 1 hour in a flying tube with a crying baby or spend a whole day hanging out with Buckhouse? Well, I mean, the good thing is babies like have no natural predators, so it wouldn't be expecting me to attack it and smash it against the side of the tube to stop it from crying. So naturally, I would just do that. Not really. Punching babies is not cool. Or maybe it is. I don't know. No, fuck either of that. Why do you guys want to know these stupid ass questions? Both situations fucking suck. Normally, when I fly, I put headphones in. I don't care if the flight attendant's fucking yelling at me. I will straight up be like, that child needs to shut the fuck up. It's screaming at an octave that's burning a hole in my brain. I understand that it's upset and it's the pressure in the cabin and shit, but I don't need to hear what you have to say. If we crash, we're probably all going to die. And in the event that we don't die, I'm not sitting on a wing seat where I have to help other people. And I know you're looking at me thinking I'm an able-bodied person, but you need to understand, I hate humanity. And if this turns into a whole lost scenario and we're on some deserted island, I'm going Lord of the Flies and ruling you all. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. DZ, I noticed you ride boards slightly shorter than what manufacturers recommend based on your weight. How do you size your boards? I don't know. With what's available, half the time I have no choice in what I get. They're like, it's either I get astronomically huge or something that's a little small. And I'm like, well, fuck, I'll take something a little smaller. On top of the fact, my personal preference has always been riding a 154 for park and a 157 for all mountain. And then if I'm going POW, something around a 160. That's just how I ride. This is a good one from Michael Trombator. Did you get a chance to ride those new Ultra Fears? If so, what did you think? I just rode the Ultra Fear Camber today, actually. It's stiffer than the old Ultra Fear, and not in a bad way. It doesn't fold when you press into it. Like, it's kind of like a Scott Stevens, but with a little more snap out of the nose. So you can really press into it and get it to hold, play around, butter, and whatnot. It doesn't clap out when you disaster onto a rail, because I was hitting this up flat and I was just like seeing what would happen, and that thing was solid. It carves actually really good too. Surprisingly, I was like, wow, this thing holds a really good edge. Overall, I was really impressed with the new Ultra Fear. So, having ridden that. Brandon Sawada, which snowboard brand do you think will go work first? Burton's been doing it and botching it for the last 3 years. Pay attention. They actually hired someone to be their person of color inclusion expert and then fucking completely botched it. I can't remember what her name. I think it's like Allie something. She made a post on Instagram about how bad it was that she actually quit the job. Like, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. Like, it's out there. If you pay attention, it's out there. It's like, some of these people are being inclusionary for being inclusionary, and some companies are just like, oh, yeah, by the way, we got this gay guy that rides for us, or this gay girl, there's transgender or whatever. And it's like, be a good person to these people. Like, just, like, fuck. But don't, like, my whole thing is like this whole forced inclusion. Like, I get into it with all these fucking libtard douche canoes. So just so everyone knows, I'm kind of in the middle with all my beliefs. Like, I just look at everything and go, that's fucking stupid. Both sides. It's both sides. It's both wings of the shitbird. Let's just be real. It's a shitbird. It's shitting on all of us. Tommy hasn't eaten it yet. But I see all these people, and it's just like, you want to be inclusionary for being inclusionary. It's kind of dumb. Like, there's this great meme, and it's a photo of a pumpkin pie, and it's all got all its cuts for the slices. And then there's one cut in the middle that just takes it out. And all I can think of is that's people that do forced inclusion. Like, none of us would have a problem with how we do things if everyone took their piece of the pie. We'd all be like, okay, we all got a fair pie. But then you come in and you cut this weird section out of the middle, and it fucks up everything else. And I look at that, and I'm just like, why did you have to do that? Like, why can't we all, so for anyone that doesn't understand this too, so like my little brother's black, like Marcus, we used to do Ask a Black Story. He's basically my little brother. Like, he adopted me when he was 11 years old, right? So I've had numerous African-American roommates, Filipino, stuff like that over the years. And they want to get into snowboarding, and I show them the culture, and I show them everything, and they're like, wow, that isn't what I thought it would actually be. And I was like, no, but they were like, but you were really welcoming. And I was like, yeah, because I feel like you're bringing something to the table. It's not like we're just going to go drag your ass out. By the way, there's about to be an ad ran in the next 10 seconds. So just for some of you, not all of you, just want you guys to know we're still running tests on this. But, so the whole idea of being inclusionary for the sake of being inclusionary is stupid. I think it's like, there's just some people that just suck. And then like I love it because people have been trying to argue the whole inclusion thing for Snowboard Jesus to me. They're like, oh, you're not being, and I was like, that guy's a fucking chode. He's got 2.5 million TikTok followers, and he can't even monetize a GoFundMe with 1% of them. That guy's just like just riding around, side slipping, or not even riding, side slipping up on people, giving them shitty advice. Like, why are you giving these people shitty advice? Why are you promoting shitty products? When I asked him, I was like, why won't any real brand work with you? He couldn't answer it. And I was like, why they won't work with you? Because you don't provide anything. Like, but you want us all to be there and be like, hey, this is fucking great, but you're not really actually doing anything. And I sit here and I look at this and I was like, it's inclusionary for being inclusion. It's just like forced inclusion. It doesn't make sense. Like when I wanted to learn how to snowboard and do everything, I had to go pay my fucking dues, right? I had to go learn stuff. You get told, you get yelled at. You're like, don't stand in the landing. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't fucking grab your board here. Tindies are bad. Don't support this brand. Do this, do that. It's good because it builds up the culture. I love it when I see people doing that. It's part of the reason I work with Shred Foundation. They're not just taking kids up and taking them snowboarding. They're trying to teach them about the culture. They're trying to teach them about how things work in snowboarding. They're trying to create jobs for them as they get older and stuff. That's what I like. That's what it is. Like one of my good friends, when he moved away, his name was Jordan. He had a full beard and everything. And he was like the manly man. And I liked riding with him. Left for a couple years, came back. Jordan's got boobs. Jordan's a girl now. I was like, huh, okay. Looked at her and was like, you happy? Yeah. You still the same Jordan? We still going to go snowboard? Yeah. Cool. There. I was like, she's not over there forcing anything. She's just like, I just want to exist and be known that I'm accepted for who I am. And I was like, that's what it is, it's like, but fuck, everyone's over here like, oh, we got to go woke and we got to go to this. I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out who Dylan Mulvaney, Mulberry Bush. I don't even know who that is. Everyone's angry about it. And I'm just like, I don't know. All I know is when we hosted Gay Ski Week, it was like the greatest week in Breckenridge. One, the town was super clean. They did not litter. It was absolutely amazing. They tip exceptionally well. And to quote my friend Mick, I finally know what it's like to be the hot girl at the bar. I got hit on all the time and got so many tips. It's like, it's great, like that. And like Soy Sauce Nation's another thing. I love that they do that. That whole thing is absolutely amazing. It's good. It's like that stuff. It like Soy Sauce Nation and when they do their meetups and everything, that's good. Uninvited just happened, right? Jess Kimura, $40,000 in prizes for women, right? Yeah, that stuff. That was awesome to see. Like those girls got paid and they threw down. And like if you watched any of the clips from that, that's awesome. That's great. That's what I'm talking about. You can build up that stuff, right? But when you just start bringing people that do kooky shit, like today, the fucktard that got on the chairlift with me. Why did you have 2 GoPros on your head? I don't even know. That was fucking weird. But I wanted to be alone. I had my board across the load line. I clearly made it obvious I didn't want to talk to anyone. You snake on and then you look at me and I'm like, I'm not fucking talking to you. Just because we both ride a snowboard doesn't mean we're going to be friends. That's the type of guy, like, he fell. He almost fell getting off, like to the point, like he rammed into my board. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he just looks at me and it's like, it's my fault. And I was like, I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I know how to get off a chairlift. I don't think you know what you're doing and stuff. But people be like, you should talk to him and you should help him. And I'm sitting here going, no, that's like someone I want nothing to do with. This guy's too busy figuring out what's going on with this fucking helmet cams to pay attention to what's going on around him. Like that is not, so this forced inclusivity. I don't know. Be good to people. Like, you can decide if you want to talk to them or not. It's not that hard. Like, there's plenty of people I don't like what they have to say, but I don't hate them for it. I'm just like, oh, that's pretty fucking stupid. I just won't talk to them. I don't know. It's just, yeah. So, anyways, anyways, yeah. That's where I'm at. Ugh, okay. Let's yeah. Anyways, sorry, went off on a little rant there. Okay. Gable Stapler 19. I've got wide feet, size 10, but 4E, 6E. Damn, that's a wide foot. Basically, hairless hobbit feet. Any brand that does better with wide sizes. Burton hurt my feet. I had to size up with Nidecker Adidas. Weirdly fit. Okay, shame. There's there's going to be new wide Solomon boots next year, and I think they're supposed to fit up to a 6EE. Let me see. Forgot I have the catalog here. Where is it? That's the women's. Where is it? It's not that one. No, is it that one? Where is it? I think it's this boot. I think it's the Synergy. But I'm pretty sure. It doesn't say. But I know that there's a new wide one coming from Solomon. 32s run wide. Deluxe kind of run wide. Let's see if there's anything in the back of this catalog that says anything. There might be a new Dialogue wide next year too. That might also be something as well. But yeah, Vans tend to run wide too. So yeah. So hopefully that'll help you. Okay, we got one from our boy Josiah Bartle down in Denver. What's a good free ride board to complement my Yes Basic Unink? My heart wants a Berserker, but my head's worried it's too much board. You could probably handle the Berserker after riding with you. I think you could, but you're probably kind of right that it's a little too much board for you. So I would almost say next year there's a new board called the Deep Fake coming out from Ride, and it's kind of like a cross between like a Shadowban Algorithm and a Berserker. It kind of fits in that middle ground. That would be where I would put you from Ride. Otherwise, I think Jones Flagship would be solid for you. What else? No, that was too much overlap. Let's see. Let's see. No, I don't think we want one of those. Maybe a Nidecker Beta as well. That might be something else to look at. So there's 3 boards for you, bud. Let's see. MTC, Sipkins. Oh, haven't seen you in a while. Question about a girl's board. Is there much difference between the Jones Earhart and the Airport Heart 2.0 that came out this year? Thinking about buying one, but so from the Earhart to the Earhart 2.0, I believe that pretty sure the Earhart wasn't made in the same factory so as the Earhart 2.0, but the 2.0 I believe is different core. It's definitely different resin in there, so it's probably going to be a little bit lighter than the old Earhart that you have. It should also be a little more snappy, so slight differences. Okay. Shane C, I bought a 159 spring brake powder twin. It's sweet for groomers and powder, but I definitely feel like I should have went with a 57. Anyway, I cranked my high back to 6 to get a great carve out of it. Well, that thing's like driving a Cadillac Eldorado, man. Anytime I get on that board, it's like 2 boards in one. Deep pow, it's surfy, it's slashy, it's fun. You get on a groomer and you're just like making a turn, and here we go, and we're turning. Oh my God, we're still not there. Oh, we're finally there, and we're turning, and we're coming back, and we're still going. So yeah. All right, the thing that should not be. Turned 40 this season. My knees hurt after a full day of riding. Is it worth upgrading to Battalion Astros or now Select Pros in terms of dampening? I'm riding K2 formulas at the moment. Cheers from Sweden. You'd be better off going with the Astros than the Select Pros. Thicker footbed on there, and then you got that dampening around the bottom. Otherwise, I would also look at like a Nitro Team or Team Pro. And if you haven't put aftermarket insoles in your boot, definitely do that, as our boy Francois Seguin has suggested. All right, we got our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine. Smash like, booked riding at Mammoth in June. RIP, L Stackers Adventures. Rest in peace. Touch me, I'm sick. Smash like, dipshits. Snowboard Jesus sucks. Snowboard Jesus. Oof, loser. Peter Dabrowski. Hey, Angry. I've ridden the Kapitakazu and loved it. I heard they're changing it for next year, though. Any word on the differences? It's more approachable, but basically it's like flex and camber profile change on that. So the best way to describe it is it's more like Big Mountain Mercury. I didn't get a chance to ride that. TC, the new guy, did. He's got a review of that will be dropping in the fall. So we got one here from Yama. How is the new Renegade different from the Freaker? It looks to be a pretty similar shape. Well, since it's called the Renegade, and there was a TV show called Renegade with Lorenzo Lamas, you now become Rene Lamas. So you get like this mullet, and you make motorcycle noises when you hit jumps. So you're like, rum, 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 in there. It rides completely different than the Freaker. It literally rides like a late 90s, early 2000s cambered snowboard. That's how it feels. It's aggressive. You're putting a lot of work into it. The Freaker is more approachable. The Freaker has better snap, in my opinion, because it's easier to load up, roll back, and pop on it. The Renegade takes more work all the way around. I liked the Renegade for what it is, but I think most people that are going to be looking at that will be better off going with a Freaker, in all honesty. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Matthew Everly, got ride fuses at Christie's Littleton, half size big, and cut circulation in my toes. If I bring Montucky Tall Boys, what are the chances they take them into the rental fleet for a discount or better fitting boots? I'd give them a call, see what they can do for you. But if you bought them a half size big, you could probably actually just put a Bontex board under the footbed or get a thicker footbed and raise you up inside the boot so that it'll suck up the volume in there. But like if you bought like a 9 and a 9.5, I'm pretty sure. No, wait, the fuse does have 1-to-1 sizing. I didn't think it used to, but yeah, no, it does. Never mind that. Galen Cobley, hi, Angry. Have you seen the Hovercraft 2.0 or heard anything about it? Oh, I wrote it. It's got 3D shaping in the tail. Super weird. It's heavier, stiffer because they're doing like recycled stuff in there. It does not ride like the old Hovercraft at all. It's a completely different ride. I will have a review of it. It's actually sitting in the hallway. I've got to film that soon. Okay, Alex K. Any benefits to strapping a board on in the living room and practicing finding the flex points in the Midwest and not seeing snow for 9 months? Hell yeah, man. It's good to learn the balance. Like you can pop up on the tail, roll back, figure out how far you can actually go before it gives, pop onto the nose, do the same thing, pop a 180, pop a 90, do that stuff. It's good, man. It's good. All right, we're going to take this one from Owen's Adventures. What are your thoughts on the 157 Nitro Dropout? I'm a beginner intermediate with a season of experience. It's probably too much board for you at that level. You'd probably be better off with an SMP. But I do like the shape on the Dropout. I've actually got the new 56 sitting in the other room. That board's super fun to ride. I really do like the way that it – well, I think they got rid of the power pods on it. I got to double check. But I do like the way that that board carves, flexes. It's kind of just a fun all-around shape. But for someone with only one season riding that's still claiming beginner intermediate, go to an S&P. You'll thank me in the long run so much more. Okay. DZ, need your recommendations on a K2 passport sizing. Size 10.5 boots, 220 pounds. I have 2 arms. So do I. Mostly groomers and pow, doing some small jumps, no park. With the 10.5s to 220, you was that? I think it comes in a 60 wide around there. I think that's where you want to be. All right. Okay. Anyways, and our boy Billy Ray Valentine with the PSA. 137 of you watching. Smash the like, duders. Yeah, questions are kind of slowing down here. So if you got more questions, let's try to do it. But I think we're going to end this poll and see what the results are right now. So let's see where we're at with this. So, okay, out of 228 votes, are you a fan of late season pow days? 52% of you said yes. Those are my people. 40% of you said, give me all that pow. You're also my people. Park laps or bust, 5%. Well, you're probably from the Midwest. And no? Who said no to pow? 2%? Oof. CM, worth paying for a late season day pass at Loveland? Never been. Should I just wait for next year, mid-season? I don't even know what's open, but my boy was over there the other day and just said it was the most bulletproof he'd ever been. I think it got hammered by 100-mile-an-hour winds. If they get snow tonight, it could be a good day tomorrow. So in there, I don't really know if everything's open over there. I haven't been over there in months. Oh, my dog's barking. See if I can wrangle her in here. I think she wants to say hi. Who's here? Who's here? Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here, Church Ferguson. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, everyone wants to see the baby. She's gotten a little bigger. She turned 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You're such a good girl. You just wake up. You just wake up. Yeah. So that's Baroness. You say hi. You have kisses? Kisses? Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl. You're such a sweetheart. Okay. How'd you go? Yeah, I can't believe I've had her for 2 years. I can't believe I've kept an animal alive for 2 years. My last dog was easy. He just lived off of anything that was in a dumpster. He was a dumpster dog. He was literally a dumpster dog. So, okay, what do we got here? Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Dylan Slater, who says no to POW and what kind of help can we get for them? We sacrifice them to Uller so we get more POW. That's what we do with them. They are our tribute. People evidently think Angry Snowboarder is a cult. I don't know. Maybe it is. All right. Let's see. Well, we got a super sticker from AG125. Well, thank you for that. That's right. Say nope to dope. Okay, jack off beat. Switch to the Ride Lasso Pros. Any boot fitting tips to relieve pressure on the 5th metatarsal bone? They ride great, but by hour 3, my right foot is done. If you haven't heat molded the liner, go get it heat molded. And just make sure when you're heat molding it, you put something under the toe to wedge you up in the heel so you sink back in there. And you might need to also, do I have any? You might need to like take some of the boot fitting foam or something and cut like a little circle, like so you would just cut like a little bit of this off and put it over that metatarsal just while it's heat molding and cooling down. That might actually push out that foam just a little bit. So yeah, that that would be what I would do. Worst case scenario, like right where it is, you cut a small X on just the outside of the liner with like a razor blade, and it'll push out that pressure just a little bit. Raphael Soros. New question. I tried the Jones Frontier a couple of months ago, and the board felt like it was sticking a lot to the snow. Is that a characteristic of the board, or did the shop screw up the wax? Sounds like it didn't have a structure in it. Also, probably screwed up the wax. I don't wax. I keep my base clean, keep it bald. But yeah, that would be my guess is somebody screwed that up. Dan Rao, why do people feel the need to jump on my chair with my family when I have a 9-year-old with me? That one blows my mind. Like when I see families, I'm just like, it's all you guys. That's all you. I don't get it. Yama, what's the average lift line wait time you experience on a weekday? Taking my first vacation next year somewhere, thinking about Copper Powder Mountain, live in North Carolina, so I've only been to small resorts. Depends what week of the year, and it depends what chairlift at Copper. So you're going up Woodward Express. It's a sunny bluebird day. All the park rats are out. You might wait 5 to 10 minutes. And then if some stupid idiot coming from the beginner section falls and it stops, you might be sitting there for 10, 15 minutes waiting for that. Otherwise, normally it's probably less than 2 minutes. If you really want to go someplace with no lines, I'd go Powder Mountain. I heard the guy that one of the founders of Netflix just bought a majority share of it, and he wants to upgrade infrastructure, which means they're going to get ready to sell out to like some mega pass. So now would be the time to probably go to Powder Mountain. Yeah. So, but overall, I think maybe the longest line I waited in was like 15, 20 minutes. And that's only because some idiot fell off the chair and they had to stop it for 10 plus minutes. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I do owe Jack Off B to spin. Get it. I'm in my own world over here. So. That's right. Oh. Subscribe or else, people. Okay. No. Okay, here we go. The thing that should not be. What happened to the interior plane project? Rode the Odessa 59 for a couple of seasons, skateboard. So, basically, Pete closed up shop on it and went to work for the house, and now that's done. But Pete had kind of hit like the point where it was paying the bills, but it wasn't growing, and I guess his wife kind of gave him an ultimatum because they have a young kid and young daughter, and so he was just like tried to sell it, tried not to, and he was just like, the best way to put it is they're not really gone, they're just on permanent vacation, which was what the last line of graphics was permanent vacation. But they did do that collab with Dinosaurs Will Die this year, so God, I miss the Honolulu. I miss riding a Honolulu. I loved riding that board every year. Nothing changed. It was just a good old-fashioned twin tip. I need to find out if Capita still has the molds for that and be like, how much to press me a couple? So, yeah, those boards. Someone actually reached out to me this past summer and was like, hey, man, I see you own a couple IPP boards. And I was like, I do. And I had the Wine Hands 154 Honolulu, and then I've got a Bloodlines 154 Honolulu. And I love that Bloodlines. I'm not getting rid of that. And the guy was just like, would you be willing to sell it? And I was like, yeah, name your price. And he was like, and he named the price. And then I got COVID and I couldn't respond to him for like a week. I was just dealing with some stuff and I hit him back and I was like, yeah, So I told him, I was like, that price is cool and all, but here's a better deal. You're going to donate $100 to the Shred Foundation. And then I was like, I think it was either a $25 or a $50 gift card to Castaways Cove. I want 4 sandwich cookies from Mary's Mountain Cookies and 2 cupcakes from Clint's. And we got a deal. And the guy was just like, okay. Because I think it like blew his mind that I was just willing to trade like that. but he wanted it, that was like his board, and he was like, he said he had found one in Austria, but between shipping and shit, and he was just like, eh. So, anyways, he shows up, we start talking. Turns out, like, we got mutual friends, and he's like, yeah, when I told him that you said all this stuff, they just looked at me and were like, oh yeah, that's like an Avon thing. He doesn't need money. He'll just, he'll trade for cupcakes and cookies and shit. So it was kind of funny. But dude's riding it, so yeah. I do miss IPP boards though. I really do. Yeah, so, but with the house gone, as David says, maybe Pete will be bringing them back. God, I hope so. I hope IPP comes back. I would, back from permanent vacation, I'd be all about it. I'd buy one. I'd buy two. I'd buy the whole line. I'd help them sell them. Fuck, love those boards. They're so good. Anyways, you guys are starting to slow down with your questions. So if you got any final questions, get them in the chat box. Let's try to answer these. I'm going to get out of here. I got to walk the dog really quick, and then I got to go get some crab rangoons. So, yeah, let's get some of those final questions. See what else is going on here. Yeah. So basically, what we've been working on too. So just so you guys know, I did hire another review guy. You're going to meet TC here in the future. We're going to slowly ease him in. You're going to see him doing reviews, top fives, couple live streams. He'll be on some live streams with me in there. And then in the fall, we're hoping to hire a female reviewer. My friend Carl, she's worked at Powder Tools for a couple years, so she's got a good shop background, but we're going to try to bring that on. And we did hire a review, or not a review editor, we hired an editor part-time. So what we're working on right now, if you guys have noticed, my output with content's been really slow. We're trying to get all the reviews done, and we're making all the fall top fives right now. We're starting to get all that shit going. If we can get all the content we want made by August and edited, we'll have a year and a half's worth of content. I'm going to actually be able to finish the boot fitting 101. I'm trying to work a deal with Christie Sports to get access to a boot lab to film the boot fitting 202 or 201. And so I can show you guys some more advanced boot fitting techniques on how to get some better fits with stuff. So we're working on that. You'll also I filmed a bunch of like how-to videos, like how to fix a torn jacket, how to, base clean your board and stuff. I got to edit that stuff. That's all coming. So you guys are going to get a lot of new content. But the big thing is, if we can push out this year and a half's worth of content, we'll be so far ahead, like going forward, we're going to be able to work on bigger projects for you guys. So there's going to be some really cool stuff. Yeah, outerwear is one thing that we want to review too. TC and I talked about that. So we're going to try that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Cooper Garden, does the Tellus DST shred? I think it does. I like the way that board rides. Got that longer rocker in the nose and the tail. It's kind of fun. Let's see. Jeff H., do you ride until the last day chairs are running, or do all the people with a brain call it a bit sooner? It depends on how the conditions are. Like, if it's gone to white ribbon to death, rocks, schmeg and stuff, I'm just like, no, I'm fucking done. But there was years, I think I rode the Friday before the last day, and that Friday was like a POW day, and I was smashing POW, and I was like, I'm good with calling this my last day. It kind of depends year to year, but when it tends to get really bad, and I know that like all of Denver is going to come up because they want that last hurrah in June or whatever. I'm like, fuck it, these people can have it. I'm out of here. Okay, Himlund, have you tried the Karua News Rider yet? Looks cool, but wonder how changing stance would work. I haven't. I got friends that have someone that knows that has one that I might talk to them and see how that works out. So yeah, I want to ride it. Like, the novelty of it really intrigues me. Do I think most people need to ride it? No, not at all. Okay. Let's see. We got a super chat from our boy Dog Drafts. What are your essential off-season exercises? So I try to bike like 10 miles a day when I go to the gym. And that's a really huge one for me. Lunges, squats, inverted leg press, a lot of core exercises. You want to, so like most people, they try to either build up their legs. And so they end up building these super calves and quads and butts, but they don't build up their core. So they just have this doughy ass core. So like I try to work from the core out. So you start at the center and work your way out, but you want to make sure that you're doing anything that can help build up your back. So like just doing squats helps with that a little bit. You want to build up your chest, your shoulders, everything. Like people just think it's like they concentrate on one thing, and I try to do a lot of different things. Maybe this summer I'll throw together a quick workout thing for it, but if you're really looking for good exercise recommendations, you should check out Mobility Duo. You can check it out here on Instagram, but even more so or here on YouTube, but even more so on Instagram. They're always popping out like really good rehab PT exercises, balance stuff. So that stuff's super, super solid. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah. We spin. Oh, well, sir, you won yourself a jumbo sticker pack. All you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll eventually get that in the mail. So for anyone from previous live streams, I haven't sent stuff out. I've just been fucking too busy. So yeah. Gingerboard Man V2. More hour-long gear breakdowns. I would love to do some more longer format shit. I just got to work on that. Hour long, maybe. We'll see. Now that I'm filming in 4K, that's a lot of footage. Okay. HW, I saw your review on the Rosnell After Hours. Now I'm really curious. Should I get one in 156, 5'11", 190 pounds, size 10 boots? I may just get my girlfriend one. Do you think it could be? No, like I rode that thing as a novelty. I rode that because I was hoping Rosnell would see that I did it, and I've yelled at him to make a guy's version of that board. It needs a stiffer core, even in the 56. It needs a stiffer core. It's going to need that, especially for anyone over 170 pounds. Stephen Francis Scott, you going to do another live stream next week? Maybe, maybe not. Like we're kind of hitting that time of the year where it's taking up too much time. I might not. We'll see. Tore my ACL and running out of your old content to keep me up. It was such a great year in Colorado, missing the spring ride. If you want some other content to watch, so Unstrapped Snowboard Show, that's a good one to watch. That's a super, super solid one to watch. You got 30 episodes to go back through. In there, I'd recommend that. Since you tore your ACL and you need to rehab, Mobility Duo is another good one, kind of get there. You could go through all the content on the Shredbots channel, tons of movies on there. So hopefully that would help you out. Okay, let's see. BW Nico. Hey, Ren, do brands that make skis and boards do anything different, better than snowboard only brands? They have access to different tech at times. And, they can kind of look at things differently because you have two different marketing segments. So sometimes you see like overlap in tech from skis to snowboards, and sometimes it works. I think big thing is material stuff. Like they're willing to go spend it on ski prototyping because it's got a higher markup than a snowboard. And then if it trickles down to snowboarding, it does actually work out. So there is that. Anyways, guys, been here an hour and a half. I feel like I've answered everyone's questions at this point. So thank you for bearing with this live stream running ads in the middle of it. It was just a test. I don't know if that'll be something that comes back. I do get a prompt on here when it's about to run an ad, so I can actually skip them for you guys. So I did just skip one because we were finishing this out. So yeah, but you guys are the real MVPs. You made it through a whole nother season with me. We're still going here at the end of April. So yeah, thank you. Anyways, if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. If you want something from me, make sure you email info@angrysnowboarder with your mailing address so I can do that. If you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. There's a link in the description. Got a video over there. I got to redo it, but there's a video over there that kind of tells you what's going on. And all the early reviews are dropping over there, one a day. So all summer, from all spring and the rest of the spring through the summer. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for everything, and I'll see you in another video.